Let's start our first news. Paddy Pimblett has revealed just how much was on the line for him heading into his recent fight, admitting that he seriously considered walking away from mixed martial arts for good if things had gone differently inside the cage. Speaking openly about the pressure he was carrying, Paddy explained that the matchup felt like a defining moment in his entire career. In his mind, losing to a dangerous contender like BSD would have meant one thing and one thing only. His dream of becoming a UFC world champion would be over. The Liverpool star confessed that he entered the fight with an incredibly harsh mindset. He believed that if he couldn't overcome an opponent standing between him and the elite of the division, there would be absolutely no reason to continue competing at the highest level. For Paddy, the goal has always been clear. He doesn't fight simply to collect paychecks or remain on the roster. His ambition has always been to reach the very top of the sport and capture UFC gold. That is exactly why the stakes felt so enormous. The possibility of defeat wasn't just another loss on his record. It represented the end of a lifelong dream. Fortunately for his supporters, Paddy responded in spectacular fashion. Delivering arguably the greatest performance of his career, he proved that he belongs among the lightweight elite and kept his championship aspirations alive. Now, instead of discussing retirement, Paddy finds himself looking toward the biggest names in the division and preparing for the next chapter of his journey toward UFC glory. His confidence has returned, his momentum is growing, and his eyes remain firmly fixed on the championship prize. Move on to another news. The massive fallout from Conor's devastating knee injury at UFC 329 continues to generate reactions across the MMA world. But one of the most surprising messages of support came from an incredibly unexpected source. Javier Mendez, the longtime head coach of Team Khabib, put years of rivalry and bad blood aside to give Conor the respect he believes he earned through his dedication and determination to return to competition after 5 years away from the octagon. Mendez openly described Conor as a true warrior, praising the unbelievable amount of work and sacrifice that went into preparing for such a massive comeback. According to the legendary coach, seeing an athlete push himself to those limits only to suffer a freak and uncontrollable injury is absolutely heartbreaking. He explained that regardless of personal opinions or past conflicts, it was impossible not to feel sympathy for what happened. Mendez admitted that while there were times he did not agree with Conor outside of competition, he always respected him as a fighter and admired the warrior mentality he brought into the cage. For Mendez, watching Conor's comeback end in such tragic fashion was not the way any fighter should leave the sport. Fighters deserve the opportunity to go out on their shield, either proving they were the better man or accepting defeat against the better opponent on the night. Instead, as Mendez put it, Conor was defeated by circumstances completely beyond his control, and that was the part that hurt the most. He also gave credit to Max for the way he handled the situation, praising his sportsmanship and professionalism. Mendez noted that Max could have easily taken advantage of the moment, but instead chose to step back and make sure the focus remained on Conor's injury and well-being, rather than the result itself. Move on to another news. Despite suffering yet another devastating setback in his highly anticipated return against Max Holloway, Conor has made one thing absolutely clear: his fighting career is not over yet. The former two-division champion officially confirmed that he will undergo surgery to repair the serious damage to his knee following the injury that shocked fans around the world. However, retirement is not part of his plans. Instead of walking away from the sport, Conor immediately outlined the roadmap for his comeback. According to his statements on social media, the process is already in motion and will consist of surgery, rehabilitation, recovery, and a rapid return to the training room once doctors give him clearance. Most importantly, Conor revealed that his ultimate objective remains unchanged. He wants to step back inside the octagon one final time and fulfill the last fight remaining on his current UFC contract. The Irish superstar also insisted that the lifestyle changes he recently made are permanent and that he remains completely committed to returning stronger than ever. His focus, discipline, and determination appear to be fully locked in on one final run. Whether the UFC ultimately decides to give him another opportunity after 2 catastrophic leg injuries in such a short period remains uncertain. Still, Conor has left absolutely no doubt about his intentions. As far as he is concerned, the story is not finished, and the final chapter has yet to be written. Meanwhile, lightweight contender Dan Hooker shared his thoughts on Conor's future and suggested that perhaps a move away from mixed martial arts could make sense at this stage of his career. Hooker explained that fans remain just as excited to see Conor step into a boxing ring against a major superstar for a massive payday as they were before the injury occurred. According to Hooker, while boxing carries its own dangers, particularly the amount of head trauma fighters absorb over 12 rounds, MMA places significantly more stress on the entire body. He pointed to the constant strain on knees, ligaments, joints, backs, and necks that fighters endure throughout training camps and competition. In Hooker's opinion, the reality may simply be that Conor's body can no longer withstand the demands of elite-level MMA competition. If that proves to be the case, he believes boxing could offer the perfect opportunity for Conor to continue competing while earning one final massive payday. Move on to another news. While many fans were disappointed by the lack of action in the main event over the weekend, one fighter who absolutely delivered was Paddy Pimblett. Paddy wasted no time making a statement, securing a lightning-fast first-round finish over BSD in one of the most impressive performances of his career. Going into the fight, many expected a difficult and competitive battle, but Paddy had other plans. The finish came after BSD attempted to mix things up with a high kick before immediately changing levels for a takedown. Paddy saw the sequence developing perfectly, reacted instantly, and locked in the submission with incredible precision. Moments later, the fight was over, and BSD was left with no escape. What was expected to be a serious test quickly turned into a dominant showcase of Paddy's improvements and confidence inside the cage. However, the biggest surprise came after the fight, when Paddy revealed just how much pressure he'd been carrying throughout the entire training camp. According to the lightweight contender, he had already made up his mind that if he lost to BSD, his career in mixed martial arts would be over. Paddy admitted that around 4 or 5 weeks before the fight, he spoke honestly with his team and questioned whether there was any point in continuing if he could not defeat an opponent standing between him and title contention. In his eyes, if he could not get past BSD, then becoming a UFC world champion would simply never happen. And for Paddy, becoming the best in the world has always been the only goal worth chasing. Interestingly, Paddy revealed that Justin's victory over Ilya ended up providing exactly the motivation he needed at the perfect moment. Watching that result unfold lit a fire underneath him and completely transformed the final weeks of his preparation. According to Paddy, those last weeks of training camp were some of the best of his entire career and left him feeling ready for absolutely anyone placed in front of him. He even described feeling BSD lose consciousness during the submission attempt, explaining that once his opponent tried to resist and roll through the hold, it only accelerated the finish. Looking back now, it is remarkable to think that a different result at UFC 329 could have led to Paddy walking away from the sport entirely. Instead, his championship ambitions remain very much alive. Move on to another news. Fans have just heard something that very few people ever expected to come out of one of the most bitter rivalries in UFC history. Speaking on his latest show, Daniel Cormier revealed that Khabib had privately told him that he would shake Conor's hand if they ever crossed paths under the right circumstances, especially if Conor was with his family. That detail carries enormous significance because Khabib has always placed family and respect above everything else. Even when dealing with opponents, he deeply disagreed with both inside and outside the cage. DC then shared an even more fascinating story that dates back to the aftermath of Conor's devastating leg injury against Dustin several years ago. According to Daniel, Khabib questioned him for being too friendly with Conor during an encounter in Abu Dhabi. Daniel explained that the conversation initially caught him by surprise. However, Khabib's reasoning quickly made him reconsider his position. According to Khabib, if he ever saw Conor alongside his wife or family members, he would absolutely greet him respectfully and shake his hand because, in his view, that is simply the right thing to do. At the same time, Khabib also reminded Daniel that loyalty matters enormously to him. He pointed out that despite never personally having problems with Jon Jones, he intentionally kept his distance because of the deeply personal rivalry between Jones and Daniel Cormier. For Khabib, friendship and loyalty are not things that change depending on circumstances. If someone is in conflict with a close friend, he believes that relationship naturally affects everyone connected to that situation. Considering everything that happened between Khabib and Conor, this perspective is truly remarkable. Their rivalry was never just about competition inside the octagon. It escalated into one of the most personal and explosive feuds mixed martial arts has ever witnessed, involving the infamous bus incident, the chaotic UFC 229 post-fight brawl, and years of hostility between both camps. Despite all of that history, Khabib's willingness to show respect under the appropriate circumstances highlights the values that have always guided him throughout his career. For many fans, hearing that one day Khabib and Conor could share a respectful handshake represents a powerful reminder that even the fiercest rivalries can eventually make room for respect. Move on to another news. The heavyweight division is finally starting to move again, as Tom Aspinall has officially been medically cleared to return to action following an incredibly difficult 8-month recovery period. The undisputed heavyweight champion was forced to spend months on the sidelines after suffering serious damage during his controversial no contest against Ciryl Gane last October. The injury required multiple eye surgeries and raised major concerns about how long he would be away from competition. Now, those concerns appear to be over. Tom recently revealed that his team has officially informed the UFC that he is fully healthy and completely ready to step back inside the octagon. Even more importantly, the British star is making absolutely no demands regarding location or timing. According to Tom, he is willing to travel anywhere in the world to make the fight happen. Whether the UFC wants the event in Paris, Las Vegas, or anywhere else, he is prepared to walk directly into enemy territory and settle unfinished business with Ciryl once and for all. For now, the champion says the only thing left to do is wait for the UFC matchmakers to provide an official date. Tom also confirmed that training camp preparations are already underway. He revealed that he is back in the gym every day, working hard and preparing himself for the moment the call finally arrives. His message was simple and direct. His team is ready, he is ready, and now the ball is firmly in the UFC's court. Meanwhile, the bad blood surrounding Ciryl's interim title victory over Alex at the massive White House event continues to grow. Alex remains furious over the controversial stoppage and has shown no signs of moving on from the defeat. The former two-division champion even questioned Ciryl's cardio and determination, claiming that the French heavyweight was visibly exhausted before the finish took place. According to Alex, he could see in Ciryl's eyes that he was beginning to fade and believed the momentum of the fight was starting to swing in his favor before the referee stepped in to stop the contest. Move on to another news. The lightweight title picture may have just become a whole lot clearer as speculation continues to grow surrounding a potential showdown between Justin Gaethje and Arman for the UFC lightweight championship. The discussion exploded after Ali Abdelaziz took to social media and posted a message that immediately caught the attention of MMA fans around the world. According to Ali, the champion's next title defense will come against an opponent he has never faced before, adding that he is extremely excited about the potential matchup. That single statement instantly sent fans racing through the lightweight rankings, searching for possible candidates. When taking a closer look at the top contenders, the list quickly becomes very small. Justin has already shared the octagon with nearly every major name near the top of the division, eliminating several potential challengers from contention immediately. One of the few exceptions is Arman, who remains one of the most dangerous and deserving contenders, waiting for his opportunity to fight for UFC gold. Another name that could have entered the conversation was BSD. However, after suffering a shocking first-round submission loss to Paddy Pimblett in just 52 seconds, a title opportunity now appears to be completely off the table for the immediate future. With that result removing another contender from the equation, all signs seem to point directly toward Arman becoming the next man in line. Stylistically, it is a fascinating matchup as well. Justin's legendary pressure, durability, and knockout power would collide with Arman's elite wrestling, relentless pace, and ever-improving striking skills. It is exactly the type of fight capable of reshaping the entire lightweight division and determining who truly stands at the top of one of the UFC's deepest weight classes. For now, nothing has been officially announced, but momentum behind Justin versus Arman continues to grow rapidly, and many fans already believe this could be the UFC's next big lightweight title fight.